Hello, gang.
Hey.
Morning.
Morning.
Team, yes.
Good morning, Stacey.
Dave.
I can see you. Hello. Oops.
I'm going to bring it back a week. Yeah. So just bring everything back a week. I've still got a few bits and pieces to finish off.
All right, Mr. Bo. Hello, sir.
Can you email me IDs instead of texting?
Great to see you, Dave.
Cool. Can we get everyone muted? Muted, please. Can we get everyone muted? All right, guys. We've done headspace quite a bit. We've done canvassing. We've done prospecting. Hey, Bo, you're in the hot seat today.
Fantastic.
All righty.
Love it.
Adrian, I really want to go with you, but I'm not going to pay for marketing.
Sure. Okay. So if we're looking to market the property and if we're looking to perhaps conduct a auction campaign or an online campaign, the good news for you, David, is that as part of my process, even if you decided that you did want to pay for marketing, is that I've got certain chapters that I work with in order to get the property sold. And part of the first initial process is for the first 3 to 6 business days, I show my buyers agents and VIP buyers that are very, very qualified, that have missed out on other properties through your home without spending any money in marketing at all. So regardless whether you're looking to invest in marketing or do an auction or private treaty, whatever it might be, part of my process is that 3 to 6 business days of bringing highly qualified people through, which other owners have paid extensive marketing for us to be the beneficiary of that. And that's the beauty about being part of the Elders Lifestyle Group, is that we have a very shared and ubiquitous abundance type attitude when it comes to sharing buys. So I'm going to do that regardless. Let me go through that process initially for you. All you've got to do is feel comfortable as me, as your agent. I'm not too focused on the marketing side of it at the moment. If you're comfortable to move forward with me and you feel I can add value and provide you the best possible service and service every possible buyer inquiry, we can review that in stage 2. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, mate, I get all that, but Marty Farage just told me he's going to throw it all in, mate.
Yeah, well, effectively, if someone is suggesting they're going to spend $5,000-6,000 in advertising, basically it's the same difference as them reducing their commission, because all the suppliers charge. So what I can do is I can't control what the suppliers charge us, but I can control my commission. So if Martin's saying that he's going to throw in the advertising, what commission is he quoted you?
Well, that's using what would you up here. So he's saying 2.5.
2.5%. Okay, great. Well, the same difference would be that we look at marketing in stage 2 of the approach, which we may not even need, given that I've got very highly qualified buyers that I know have missed out. And if and when we do need to proceed down the marketing track, then frankly, if I said 2.3%, then it's the identical difference to 2.5 inclusive of marketing, because either way, that extra 2% will 0.2% will be made up in marketing. So it's the same difference. So I'm more than happy to do that. But what's the most important thing, David, is who do you feel the most comfortable with? So if I asked you, assuming the marketing was identical, assuming the fee was identical, who do you feel the most comfortable to proceed with, either myself or the other agent you're talking to?
Adrian, mate, I really like the semi. Mate, it's going to auction in a couple of weeks, is it?
Yes.
Cool. And what do you think I need to pay?
Okay, so we've had strong interest around the 1.5, which is exactly what we've been guiding.
So if I offer 1.5, can I buy it?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked me that. And I'm going to actually, so just offline for a minute, I'm going to provide two responses. Okay. So number one response is, Dave, I'm really glad you've asked me that, because I actually had a meeting with my sellers this week, and I've preempted the fact that genuine serious buyers will ask me that exact question, which is, it's scheduled for auction. However, what do I need to do to buy the property? Now, their instructions were that please let the buyers know that we've bought and sold many properties before. The auction is only in 2.5 weeks' time. They welcome all offers. However, they want it to be in an open, transparent environment because they have been burnt before as a buyer and a seller in pre-auction offers, and they swore to themselves that they'll never do that to someone else when they actually go to sell their property. So their decision, which I have to support, is we welcome offers, but it has to be in a transparent environment. So that's response number one, assuming that's the conversation you had. Response number two is, David, I'm really glad you've asked me that question, because I've met with my clients this week, and the good news for you is we, as the owners and ourselves, and their instructions in particular, is to use the auction very much as a process, not necessarily an event. So what that means is we've adopted very much a hybrid approach, which means the auction date is the 25th of February. However, the property is for sale by private treaty every day up until that auction date. So the owner is interested in offers. However, they've provided me written instructions, which I will forward to you, on how to present your offer. And because they've chosen auction as their method of sale, the offer has to be identical to how it would be produced at an auction, which is in an unconditional format. So I'm going to forward you that, but just to give you a bit of a brief, it requires a signed contract.
All right, I get that, eh? I get that, mate. I get that. So if I sign a contract at 1.5 with a 66W, we get it done?
Oh, depending on the price, absolutely.
Well,
the
1.5,
owners are
mate.
more
I told
than
you,
happy.
1.5, I'll sign a contract and give you a deposit. Is that going to get it done?
Please do it. Please do it, David.
Yeah, but I'm not going to waste my time, mate. I'm not going to run around like that and then I don't buy it. Am I going to buy it at that?
Understand. You've got to come up with a subjective value. And if your subjective value is 1.5, I will sit down with my owners. The decision's not mine, it is theirs. They own the property.
Well, mate, you ring the vendor. You ring the vendor and find out if they take it, and then I'll come back, and then you come back to me, mate. I'm not going to get fucked around by another real estate agent.
I understand, David. Yeah, I won't be doing that, just to let you know, because the owners have provided me written instructions on the only way they're interested in offers. And I'm going to forward that you, and I'd suggest you forward it to your solicitor as well, because there is a document your solicitor will need to sign in order to present your offer.
So do I tell my wife, did I tell my wife tonight when I see her that if we sign a contract at 1.5 and she signs it, I'm buying it? Is it mine?
No, I wouldn't be telling her that, David, at all. I'd be telling her that you'll be providing an offer in the format that the owner has instructed us to, and that the agent will be sitting down with the owner in order to get instructions. So yeah, I probably wouldn't say that to her, David, to be honest. But
you know what, mate? I'm not going to get dicked around. I'm out.
Understand, no problem. Well, the auction's on the 25th of February. You're more than welcome to attend that. I couldn't be any more transparent and clear in terms of what my vendors' recommendations are.
Okay,
and it's very clear instructions.
So, Adrian, you told me they're not going to take my 1.5 before, and I've got to go to auction.
No, I didn't tell you that.
No, we've moved over to the other one. So we're not taking offers before. So
correct,
I've got to go.
Correct, yeah.
I've got to go to auction.
That's correct.
Right,
yeah, the owner's very clear instructions of a go.
So do you reckon 1.5 will buy it?
I think you'll be very competitive at that price point. Very competitive.
Yeah, but what do you reckon it'll sell for? Mate, you've been in the game for fucking 30 years. What do you think it'll sell for?
My strong recommendation to you is to listen to what the other interest is at. If you've got a moment, I can talk to you through that. And the other interest is between 1.5 to 1.6. If I was in your shoes, I would be preparing myself financially towards that 1.6 mark.
Yeah, but mate, you know the market. What do you think? Adrian Bo, personally, what do you think it's going to sell for?
I understand. The agency agreement that the owner has signed and I have signed has 1.5 million on it. When you come to the inspection this week, I will show you that. In terms of the reserve price, I haven't been provided that as yet, but I can only go off what the owner's signed off on today. And
at every auction, every agent tells me 1.5. It ends up going, could it get 1.7, 1.8?
I think that would be very, very optimistic and very bullish. However, I'm not here to crystal ball the market. You know, it's been a very fluid process.
You know what? I'm not going to get dipped around. I'm going to sign a contract at 1.65. I'm going to put it. You need to give that by law to the owner at 1.65, and I'm not coming to the auction. You got 2 days to accept it.
All I can do is advise my client. I mean, they've advised me to let all buyers know to attend the auction. If you're looking to put forward a contract, I mean, you're right. By law, I will be sitting with the owners and getting instructions from them. Absolutely.
And then Adrian, I'm going to sign that contract at 1.65, and I'll be at the Open next Saturday. All right. Now that's a legitimate offer at 1.65. You can't be quoting 1.5 anymore. You better tell every buyer that there's an offer at 1.65 on that property.
Yeah, assuming that you provide an unconditional offer, just to coach you around the actual legislation, given that I'm in the industry. If you do provide an unconditional offer and there's no changes made to the contract, you're 100% right, David. I will be adjusting my price guide to 1.65.
All right. Okay. Now, Adrian, you've been in the game 6 months now. You're like a Stokesy, just doing his best. Adrian, mate, thanks for. I appreciate you doing an appraisal today, mate. Look, Alex Phillips, mate, selling everything. You know what I mean? So, look, I know what you've said today, but like I've had Alex Phillips in, and mate, I don't know how I can go past him. Understand.
In terms of making a decision in relation to the agent, have you already decided to proceed with Alex?
Not yet.
Not as yet. Okay. Would you be open for me to be able to provide my compelling business case on why I think I would be a very attractive option for you?
Yeah, I'd listen to you, mate. But like, okay. I mean, Adrian, he's selling everything in the area, mate. Everything. Understand.
Look, you're 100% right, David, in that I've only been in the industry for 6 months. I completely understand that. And Alex has been in the industry for 20 years. Now, I can't match 20 years of experience. However, I do feel that I've got some unique selling propositions in that, number one, my business model is to take on 3 listings at a time. His is to take on 33 listings. That might work for you, don't get me wrong, but I just want to make a very clear comparison around what you'll be signing up for. Now, I know for a fact, and you would as well, that it's a virtual impossibility to attend 33 open for inspections on a Saturday. Now, that might still suit you because obviously he's got a team of people that support him. But frankly, those people are juniors. I am a fully licensed and qualified agent. Sure, I don't have the 20 years of experience. I've got 6 months of experience, but let me tell you what I bring to the table, David. What I bring to the table is authenticity. I bring to the table a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of attention to detail. Every single time a buyer emails an inquiry, I personally call that person within 15 minutes. The other agent you spoke about, which very good at what he does, but the reality is it won't be him that's calling them. When someone comes to an open for inspection, I'll be personally calling that person. When someone calls and makes a buyer inquiry, I will personally be handling that. So I've certainly got a lot more energy and time. And what I do need to tell you, David, is that I've got no plan B. So this is my life. So for the next 10 years, I'm building my career and you will be the beneficiary of that. Why? Because I'm not just interested in selling your property as a statistic. I'm interested in blowing your mind with a premium price, because so far, even though I've only been in this industry a short period of time, 80% of my business has been referral and repeat business. I want that to continue. So I'm not just interested in a sale. I'm interested in making you a raving fan, a client for life, and achieving an absolute premium price and ensuring that I've got forensic attention to detail because I'm only handling 2 or 3 properties. How do you feel about that?
Cool. So you're now Greg Bates. You got a team of 3. You're selling. You got 10 opens on the weekend. Greg, look, I like what you say. I've met another agent down the road. They just tell me that they're by themselves. They do everything themselves. They're telling me you're too busy and you're a team.
Yeah.
You know, Rosie's probably going to do the callbacks. You're not even probably going to speak to the buyers, and maybe or maybe not, you might even be at my open house. So, mate, you know, yeah.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you bringing that up, David. And I'm here to let you know that that's a complete misconception, and that's not true whatsoever. So, if you appoint me as your agent, then like any other professional you're dealing with in your life, David, whether it's your accountant, doctor, or lawyer, you know to be true that they all have a team of experts that specialize in certain areas around them. Okay. I'm not dissimilar, David. So my highest and best use is to provide you the highest quality feedback from the buyers. It's also to do the negotiations on the property. It's also to be at the open for inspections. It's also to talk to the buyers. Now, am I an expert in administration? No, I've got someone that does that for me. Am I an expert in making sure that buyers want to measure their lounges? No, I don't think that's a great use of my time, given I could be proactively calling another 30 buyers for your particular property. Now, the other benefit of me having so much inventory is that I'm controlling the market. I completely control the market, and I do a lot of cross-pollination between properties. So I will be meeting other buyers in real time on the day and making sure that they are aware of your property and bringing them through on the same day. So how do you feel about that?
Adrian, look, you work for Elders. I mean, you're a big team and I get it. You're a big corporation. Mate, there's an agent down here, a guy that just works from his car. He says he's got access to all the same technology in realestate.com. He's now at 1.1%. He's with like X Realty. And he says, oh, well, he doesn't have to pay office costs and all this sort of stuff. Mate, at 1%, like you're 2.5% plus marketing. And I
understand.
I don't get it. I don't get it, mate.
I understand, David. And it's probably not dissimilar to you just making a proactive decision whether you want to buy a BMW or a Toyota. We're not really comparing apples with apples there, Dave. And if a Toyota is the type of service and result you want to achieve, nothing against Toyota, and nothing against this other agent, but you do get what you pay for. And frankly, whether it's 1% or 5%, you're actually not writing a check up front. We are a consignment model, which means that we're actually working for free until the property's sold. So it's actually a success fee. So you might think that you're saving money, but you're actually not writing a check for anything up front, apart from the advertising costs, which must be paid regardless. And secondly, if the property doesn't sell or buyers don't get serviced, or it sells for 5% or 10% less than what it's worth, well, you haven't chosen the cheapest agent. You've actually chosen the most expensive agent. So I think you just need to make a decision whether you want BMW type service and therefore a premium result, or you want to appoint an agent who simply doesn't have the resources and the database and the profile that we do, despite him telling you that. That's completely not true at all.
I really like you, Adrian. I really want to go with you. Mate, I dealt with Sam in your office 3 years ago when I bought, and I said I'd never, ever fucking deal with Elders again. So I've just got something against your office, mate. Like, I like you, but there's no way I'm going to deal with Elders. I met this guy in Open. He was a rude prick, and mate, I'm just gonna. I would look if you worked at Lang & Simmons, I'd go with you, but mate, I can't go with you while you still work for that company.
I completely understand that, and look, I've had some really bad experiences with my Apple iPhone, but I still always buy an iPad, because it's the same brand, and nothing is perfect. No human being is perfect. No brand is perfect. All I can tell you, David, is that you'll be dealing with me and me only. We know the brand to be a very reputable brand. Unfortunately, there can be personality clashes. With 8 billion people in the world, the probability rate of personality clashes are very, very high. And in that isolated situation, obviously that's what's happened. That's unfortunate. But I can tell you now that I'll be dealing with you personally. You're appointing me, and I'll make sure that you achieve a great price and I provide you the best possible service.
You now work at Warhope Real Estate. We sell about 13 properties a year. Warhope Real Estate sold 145. Adrian, thanks for coming in, mate. look, I like what you guys are doing and everything like that. Mate, they sell 145. They've got the market. They tell me they've got the database. They tell me that they deal with way more buyers than us. They've fully got the database. Mate, I like you, but you guys, mate, you sell 10% of the market. They got 50% market share. Yeah. So they sell literally seven times more the property than you guys. Like, why would I possibly go with Elders?
Yeah, I completely understand. Well, I've analysed that before we met today, and from what I can see, they sell a very broad range of property. This specific niche that we're talking about for your price range in this area, that's our sweet spot, and this is what we specialise in. And I think it can be a little bit delusional to think that agents own buyers. They don't own buyers. That's why there's buyers advocates, and there are exclusive arrangements between buyers agents and buyers. But with agents, if I list your property for sale and I put it out to my database and put it on realestate.com and domain.com, the buyers are completely indiscriminate about whether it's white real estate or Ray white real estate. They will be attracted to the property. Why? Because I'm going to market it like my life depends on it. I'm going to present it like my life depends on it. And we're going to make sure that we get the maximum possible exposure. So I think it's a bit delusional to think just because they've got more listings that they own buyers. Nobody owns buyers. So that's completely fictitious.
Now, you're asking 700,000. Look, I like it, Adrian. What will buy it?
700,000.
I'm not paying 7. Well, like, seriously, what's a fair price? What will they take?
Well, we've done a lot of the negotiations up front for you, David. I've got to let you know. I mean, we did come down from 750. It's priced to sell at 700. Let me ask you, is it the property that subjectively you don't feel is worth 700, or do you have a maximum budget that doesn't allow you to pay 700? Is it the property or your budget?
That's none of your business what I can afford or not afford. I'm asking, what will they take? What will they take?
Yeah, sure. I just thought I'd ask that because I don't want to waste your time, because if it is a budget issue, I'd rather show you properties that are in your budget.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I completely respect that. But again, we're very time poor. You're very busy, and I just want to make sure that we're showing you the appropriate.
Sorry to hold you up.
Yeah, no. Again, you're very busy, so I don't want to waste your time. Now, in saying that, at 700,000, we know that will buy it. Are the owners negotiable? The answer is yes. My recommendation.
So will they take 6? Will they take 6?
No. We've had offers already above that at 660, which have actually been rejected. So unless it's above 660, I don't want to waste your time. You're very busy. You're very busy.
So would they take 670?
They've asked me any offer above 660 if it's unconditional to sit with them and get instructions. So you wouldn't be wasting your time. You wouldn't be wasting your time.
So 661 then?
You wouldn't be wasting your time. They've advised me everything above 660, you're not wasting your time.
All right, can you ring them at 661 and see if they'll accept my offer?
I won't be doing that. What I will be doing is emailing you their instructions on how to submit an offer. It's their property. I've got to follow their instructions. And it's only unconditional offers only. And I'll forward that. My strong recommendation is you forward that to your solicitor, because they need to sign a document in order to submit an offer as well. So I'll be forwarding you that now.
I think you mentioned that 66W. What is that thing? What's a 66W?
I think it's best to have a chat to your solicitor about it. But really all it is your solicitor working in your best interest to ensure that when you are putting forward an unconditional offer, that he or she asks you some qualifying questions to protect you, to make sure that you've got finance 100% in place and that you've done all the necessary due diligence, be it strata, building or pest inspection. So, you're very protected there with your solicitor to have that conversation.
Mate, you put $1 million to 1.1 on the agency.
Yep.
We've run the campaign for 4 weeks. We've got 950, and as an agent, you think we should sell it.
Yep.
Adrian, I know you've worked hard, mate, but mate, 950, mate. Like on your agency's 1 to 1.1, you got 950, mate. You everything you said in that listing, I'm going to get the amazing result, I'm going to do this and that. I don't see it, mate. I don't see it. 950 is just not good enough. Like, mate, that's a way off what you thought. That was 4 weeks ago. You told me 1 to 1.1. Yeah,
Yeah.
950 is ridiculous.
I completely understand. And if 950 is a number that you're not comfortable with, I'll completely support you, and we'll go to plan B, which is potentially to rent the property out. However, it would be remiss of me not
Or just
to
rent it out,
provide
mate.
you-
Just fucking rent it out. Fucking rent it
Perfect.
out.
No problem. Yeah. Would you like me to let you know what my recommendation for 950 would be before we make that decision?
What? Tell me.
Look, again, either way, at the end of this conversation, I will support your decision 100%. However, there's a few factors, and these are all very objective and factual. Number one is we've had the property on the market for 4 weeks, and it would be impossible to argue that it hasn't been a comprehensive campaign. As you can see here in front of us, we've got the realestate.com statistics, which are telling us we've had 4,000 views. We've got the domain.com statistics, which are telling us we've had 3,000 views. They also tell us combined, we've had 150 emails. I've also logged the amount of phone calls we've had, which has been 38 phone calls. Now, as you know, David, we have issued 4 contracts. We've had 3 offers, all in that early 9s, and now we're dealing with 950. Now, at this particular point, given it's been a very comprehensive campaign, then the only 3 factors we've got at our disposal to review to decide whether this represents market value or not is, have we presented it well? And I think the answer to that is yes. Have we marketed it well? And I think the answer to that is yes, based on the statistics that we're looking at. And the third one is price. Now, is it possible that 4 weeks ago it was worth 1 to 1.1 and now it's worth 950? The answer to that is yes. That doesn't mean you need to sell it, but is it possible that it actually is worth that? And frankly, I think it would be impossible to argue that, given it is the best offer, and given we've had a very comprehensive campaign, I think it would be impossible to argue that it doesn't represent the best possible market value out there. Now, if your plan is to rent it out and you have a 3 to 5 year plan and review it at that point, I'll 100% support that. But if you believe that renting it out for 6 months and then putting it back on the market, that you could get 1 to 1.1, I'm here to let you know, with respect, David, that is a little bit delusional, I'll be honest with you, because all the macroeconomic factors are telling us that the peak of the market is behind us, okay? We've got inflation with a 3% in front of it, which is unprecedented. We've got the threat of interest rates that are moving up. They haven't moved in 11 years, and now they're going to move up. We're still at the tail end of a pandemic. We've got the economy
Adrian, I get all that. Do you reckon if I redo the bathroom now, do you reckon you could get me more?
I believe if you invest $20,000 to do the bathroom, you'll get $20,000 on top of $950. That's what I believe, because I know for a fact, based on the comprehensive campaign that we've conducted, that it's worth $950 today. Whether you take it or not, that's 100% your decision, which I'll support.
So you really believe $950 is the best? You won't get another dollar off the buyer, Adrian, mate?
Because,
why don't you just and that's what you really believe, mate?
Yes.
Look, why don't you just go back at 970 and then see what they say?
I understand. So I've had that conversation, David, with the buyer, and there's literally not another cent in that they do have. They've literally had to borrow from family, which is very common at the moment. So really, assuming we're sellers at 970 and we're at 950, we're talking about 1.5% difference. What happens if the market in the next 90 days shifts by 3.5%? Then we're way behind. Okay, so I think it's less about the number and more about moving on with the next stage of your life, David. If we'd only been on the market for a week and had no metrics to show us it's been a comprehensive campaign, I would understand. But we're sitting here at the back end with the luxury of data, with the luxury of feedback, with the luxury of offers. And I genuinely believe it's impossible to argue that this does not represent the best possible market value.
All right. Who wants to give Adrian a little clap? Hey, guys, a little clap for getting belted.
Love it.
Cool.
Love it.
So that's
Love it. Hopefully there was some gold in there for you guys.
The best is when Adrian was at his busiest. I used to use that against him. Adrian Bo's brilliant. If you ever get to talk to him.
Love it.
My other line was Johnny McGrath's the best. I said, Johnny McGrath's that good, that he's taught them all that well. He's just got these little robots, Johnny McGrath.
Oh, wow.
He's tried to McDonaldize real estate. So if you want a robot, go with Adrian Bo. If you want a human, go with Arthur and David.
But notice that even if you've been in the industry 6 months, notice how I embraced that. I actually embraced it and turned it into a positive, and I actually didn't hide from it. I admitted that, hey, I can't compete with 20 years, but this is what I can bring to the table. And frankly, if I was a vendor sitting there, I'd be thinking, man, I might give this guy a crack. Why wouldn't I? That's a compelling proposition.
Well, you look at someone like Ollie Labers in your marketplace compared to Michael Palliar. I mean, who wants to create, who's hungrier right now? But so 100%. In that, before we run off, so everyone, what we really want to look at is the first thing. Adrian was just straight away completely understand. Every single question, completely understand. All right? Mm-hmm. He's completely understand. That couple of seconds then got him to quickly regroup to work out where he's want to go. So first of all, there was no argumentative, completely understand, take a breath. All right? When I was being argumentative, didn't bite into the argument. All right? Even when I said just fucking rent it out, he said okay at first. That disarmed me, and then he gave me an option to then go, but would you like back to hear from me? You know what I mean? So it's just taking that moment to work with them. And in every story, he had a case study. There's a case study for everything. A case study, like debating, all right? When you go and debate an argument, the debaters don't care whether they're on the positive or the negative side. A debate's a debate. It's the same with this type of scenario. And where we need to work with our dialogue in a story is for absolutely everything. Team Bates with the 3 agents had a story. The person that was there for 6 months. You need to believe your story. You need to actually own it and actually make sure that the vendor believes it when they're in there. And they're true. I mean, those KPIs are true. A busy agent is a busy agent. A person with 2. So they've all got a truth to it. It's just and we always talk about, Adrian, it's about having the storyteller is the winner, e.g. Marty Farah in his shorts and fucking T-shirts. And Marty Farah is one of the best storytellers of all time. And even though you actually know he's full of shit, he makes you feel so good, you go along with it. So I think that was a really, really, really good session. Al, you're there nodding away. Just quickly to finish off and then we'll go. What was the key thing you got out of that today?
Oh God, I've got like a whole page. I just really loved that the unique selling proposition. I mean, I've been around the industry for a little while, but I still loved how you are able to debunk the competitor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And as Dave said, it's less important what your compelling business case is, but you've got to say it with conviction, and you've got to believe it in every fiber of your body.
Perfect. That was pretty sharp and fast and hard, guys. As you know, we get the recording. Any agent that wants to be good in our team, go back and listen to that, because it was sharp and hard and fast. Have a bit of fun, but really take that back, because they're the questions we're getting. They're the hard questions. And when you're getting them, are you cool? Are you calm? Are you taking a breath? Have you got one line that you use, whether it's completely understand or whatever your little phrase is, just to have that moment, Cool.
Perfect.
See you, Bowie.
Absolute pleasure. Good on your team. Reach out whatever you need. Okay.
Thanks, buddy. Bye, mate.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.